All right, let's take a look inside and see what we've got here. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Is that not absolutely beautiful looking right there? Cabbage rolls. That's the way to do a cabbage roll. I can't wait to dig in. Delicious. Well, howdy and welcome to my kitchen. Hey, I'm Stuart and I do this little cooking show called Texas Cooking Today, where I take recipes that I create and then I over-explain everything. Okay, so if you're a really good chef, just put up with me, because sometimes I'm a little wordy about how I do these things. If you don't know how to cook, you found the right show, okay? And we're going to get into this. This is some really good stuff. This is cabbage rolls that I'm doing today. And here's the thing. Some years back, one of my viewers asked me, would you do a cabbage roll recipe? I was like, well, yeah, okay. Thing of it is cabbage rolls really never appealed to me. You know, hamburger, rice rolled up in cabbage. It doesn't do much for me, okay? I thought about it and thought about it. And I thought, there's some way that I can just improve this, but I'm going to have to start over from scratch. So I did cabbage rolls the way I think cabbage rolls should be done. And this is a cabbage roll that uses pork. You can use beef for this to substitute, you know, like beef tenderloin and beef sausage to make this work. But the way I did it is with pork. It's delicious. If you can eat pork or you like pork, you're going to love these cabbage rolls, I guarantee you. When I was developing this recipe, I took it to some friends that were cooks and chefs, and I said, I want you to taste this. Not only did they love them, but they also all insisted on the recipe. So that made me feel very confident about what I was doing there. Great recipe. Let me show you the ingredients. Come on over and we'll take a look at this. Oh, before we do that though, click subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Click the like button so that you can help me on my ratings and how I place in other people's search engines. Also, drop a comment at some point during this. Tell me how you like to do your cabbage rolls, or if you've ever done cabbage rolls, or what you were looking for in a cabbage roll. I would like to hear from you. So come on over. All right, so we got some great ingredients here. Got a large head of cabbage. I have some pork here. Now this is pork tenderloin that I have fine diced. Dice about the size of 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. And that's what I did on all of these. Same thing on the tomato, same thing on this potato, same thing on these green onions. They're just chopped green onions. So we got pork tenderloin, tomato, chopped green onions, potato, and some chorizo. And over here I've got some oregano, some black pepper, and some salt. As far as the quantities on these things, well, we'll get into all of it here in a little bit, but just to help you out a little bit, we got 1.5 pounds, 8 ounces, 1 cup of diced potato, cup of diced tomato, cup of chopped green onions, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt with 1 teaspoon of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of oregano, and a large head of cabbage. All right. Now, as far as this other stuff that's over on the side here, I'm going to do a wild rice recipe with this for my dinner. And that is another recipe that I have on my channel, so check it out. It's really good. So this stuff, we just have to get the ingredients combined for the filling. And then I'm going to cook this cabbage head. And in fact, I'm probably going to start with this while this is being combined. And then we're going to use the stuffing inside of the cabbage, roll it up, and bake it in the oven. Okay, I have a pot with about 1 inch of water here in the bottom. And I'm going to bring this up to a boil so I have a nice steamy condition. There we go. That'll be boiling shortly. Now, move some of this over. Cabbage. Now, these outer leaves I won't need. And there's some of the leaves on the main head that I need to remove. So I'm going to take this over to the sink and just remove these outer leaves real quick. There we go. Just waiting for that to come to a boil. All right, so my pork right in there. Come on, you. Got a few pieces hanging out in the bowl there. There we go. Now I'm going to take this chorizo. I want to say this. Chorizo is normally a very, very fatty sausage. Some chorizo will not have as much fat in it. I like to find the chorizo that's a little leaner for this dish, and that is mostly because I just need it for my health, all right? You know, too much fat equals liver problems, right? Okay, so, and before people start arguing about that, you can argue with my doctor, all right? He's the one that said. So, anyway, I'm watching certain fats and the consumption of too much carbohydrates and things like that so that my health is good. Anyway, what I'm trying to do now is just to get the chorizo combined with the rest of this diced pork. And if you'll look at the size of the pieces of pork, they're all very small. Look at that, folks, just teeny tiny little bites of pork. So that's what's going to make for a good filling here. Now, one at a time, just add in the vegetables. That's the potato right there. You might be thinking, wow, that's unusual. Never seen potato in a cabbage roll. Well, guess what, folks? I didn't want to use rice on this. I wanted the rice on the side. Hey, what do you know? So, that's mixed in. Now, tomato. Yeah. Hard to go wrong with those tomatoes. The tomato adds a lot of acid to this. Whoop. And it sounds like my pot is up and boiling. You hear the noise it's making? Okay. Now the onions. Woohoo! Hello, you. It's a talking to me. I'm going to take my spices. There we go. That's what you call a pot ready to go. Now, if you're wondering why I'm using the gloves, all right, it's just for a quicker cleanup, no other reason. There we are. Makes doing stuff like this a little bit faster and more sensible if you get right down to it. There we go, quick and easy cleanup, right? Alrighty. Ooh, you talking to me, aren't you? Carefully put that head of cabbage in there. Bring the temperature back up so it's going to be a good cook on it. Now here's the thing. The cook on this, I want to be about 20 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer, let it do its thing, and then I will cut it apart to make my cabbage rolls. All right. 20 minutes of cooking is now completed on the cabbage. Now, cabbage, of course, is going to be mighty hot, so it's not like something you want to just reach in and grab a hold of. Use some utensils. Make your life a little easier. Whew. Now, I'm going to give that just a moment for the outer layers to cool, the inner layers to cook a little bit more, and then I'm going to cut the core out of it. And we'll start peeling it apart. Now I want to let you know the outer leaves come off fairly easy. Those inner leaves kind of get wrinkled and curled up on each other, and as that happens, well, it's going to be a little more difficult to get those inner leaves to separate, but they will come apart if you're patient. So as that is cooling, I'm going to go ahead and prep the dish that I'm going to be cooking those in. And I just want to have a little olive oil down in there to give something to keep the sticking from occurring to begin with. Now once they cook a bit, you know, that sausage is going to release some of its fat, depending on which one you use. Some chorizos are fattier than others, and that will also release some fat into the dish so that things won't stick as much. But that takes a few minutes to get cooked out. Until then, we don't want nothing happening, and a little olive oil is great. The next thing is, after I put the cabbage rolls in here, I want to put a little bit of salt on them and drizzle some olive oil over the top of them also. It helps for that cabbage to stay nice and supple. All right, so that's that. So I've set a 3-minute timer to let this cool for about 3 minutes to keep my little fingers from burning quite as badly while I do my thing. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to need to cut the core off of it, so I need a little knife. That'll be my paring knife. All right, this has had 3 minutes of cooling time. Of course, it's still mighty hot, but it at least is somewhere where I can touch it. So I want to cut the core out of this as much as I can. All right, I've got a few leaves peeled now. I think I can do some cabbage rolls now. So what I want to do is just take some of my meat. I want a healthy portion. Put it inside the leaf. Take the leaf and simply give it a roll. All right, just like that. I'm going to set that in my dish. Move right on to the next one. Now, some of these leaves look a little better than others. And if you wish to pick and choose on your leaves, of course you can. That's just strictly up to you. It's your food, right? There you go. Those are some big cabbage rolls, aren't they? Big, healthy, nice, meaty cabbage rolls. I mean, who wants to open up a cabbage roll and there ain't much inside, right? It's always good to have plenty inside. So normally I get about 12. This time it looks like I got 11, and they're rather large. Let's take a look at those. Now, before I put this in the oven, which is now heating at 350 degrees, I'm just going to top these, as I mentioned before, with a little olive oil. I'm going to sprinkle a little salt over it. Got my little alarm in the background telling me to turn off the misters in my vegetable garden. They're keeping it cool on a really hot day. Now I'm covering this because I want these things to cook in steam. Okay, I need to finish cooking off that cabbage, which is starting to get tender, but it's not fully cooked yet. And of course I need to fully cook all that pork that's in there. So that's going to take a little while. And to have plenty of steam going on will really help it out. Okay, so the foil is very helpful. If you've got a pan that has a lid, that works well also. Dutch ovens work for this. Take your pick. Bake it at 350 and it takes about an hour. My oven just beeped and it's time for me to get these in there. 350 degrees. This takes 50 minutes to an hour usually. The way you'll know is when you squeeze them, if they're firm, hey, guess what? You've got a cooked one. All right, and it takes a while to cook one of these, okay? So it's not going to be done quickly. In the meantime, that'll give me time to make my my wonderful wild rice recipe, which takes about an hour to make. And if you want that recipe, it'll be on my channel, long grain wild rice. And if I remember, somebody please remind me in the comments. I might put that recipe link in my description, okay? Good one. All right, this, $3.50. My timer, 1 hour. All right, these are out of the oven now, and it's time to take a look. They've had about 10 or 15 minutes to rest now. Ooh, here we go. Steamy. Look at that. Aren't those beautiful? Man, that's just delicious looking right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a nice close look here. I can't wait to dig into that. Alrighty now. I have been looking forward to this. That's good stuff. Let's take a closer look at these, all right? All right, let's take a look inside and see what we've got here. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Is that not absolutely beautiful looking right there? Cabbage rolls. That's the way to do a cabbage roll. I can't wait to dig in. Delicious. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the stuff right there. I can't wait to just dig in and polish this off. Packed full of flavor, packed full of nutrition. The textures are there. The cabbage still has good texture to it. It's not too firm, definitely not too soft. And folks, it's just flat delicious. So this is one you really need to try. Add it to your recipe list. I'm sure you will once you've tried it. And I'd like to say thank you so much for watching to this point in this video. It was really fun to do this for you, and I look forward to doing the next video. Do me a favor, click the like button if you haven't done so. Drop me a comment down below. Tell me what you like in the way of a cabbage roll and what you think of this recipe. Also, do me a favor, and if you have not subscribed, please do so. The wild rice recipe, banging good. Wait till you try it. Puts bins to shame. You're really gonna like that one. So, you folks have a good day. Thank you for watching, and well, happy eating. It's delicious. Yeah. Oh yeah.